Hello everyone, I should be audible right now, so for everyone to enjoy. And we're just gonna wait a little bit before starting with the race so people can filter in and be ready for the race start. I'm sorry for not being able to participate last Thursday. Uh, got all a bit messed up at home, so didn't have the opportunity, but still want to do it, so yeah. Here we are now. This circuit we are racing on today is the Kyoto Driving Park, and as some of you may know, Kyoto has a lot of different uh, layouts, and we are using almost the full, actually I do believe we are using the full layout. It's a hybrid between the two circuits, the Miyabi circuit and the Yamagiwa circuit, and all in all they create this big circuit which is 4.254 miles long, or 6.846 kilometers long, and has 20 turns, most of them long winding right-handers. And there are a couple of interesting sections to the circuit. A couple of hairpins, a couple of twisty bits. Like I said before, also long bendy corners. So yeah, a lot of racing action. I'm sorry. For today's race, we are expecting a 31 lap race. And strategy is going to be an interesting one. Sorry, pardon me. With all the twisty sections, long corners, it is very easy for the tires to die off pretty quickly. And thus the tire compound choice, especially at the start of the race, is going to be an interesting one for sure. There has been a race previously around the circuit in Group 1, and it was back in 2020, so 4 years ago already. And back then the fastest lap was in the race a 1:55.550. Nice number. Alright, it's nearly half past, so we are going pretty soon. And hello to J Rabbit in the chat. You of course already know the outcome of the race, but don't spoil it for the rest of us. It's going to be an interesting one to say the least. Group 1 with their downforce being really quick around this high-speed circuit with a lot of those high-speed corners added to that as well. Clock has hit half past, so let's get started on this race. The 5 red lights are out, and away we go for round number 5. It is J Rabbit who leads the pack as they head into turn number 1. Not even braking, full flat around the circuit. Flappy holds second place from Bacchus, and then there's Ivan just behind. Gadget in 5th, Mickey in 6th, and Lens in 7th place, the only non-Bugatti in this race. Bugattis seem to be very powerful in Group 1. As they already make their way onto the Miyabi part of the circuit. And J Rabbit is already pulling a gap. To the cars behind. Ooh, and Ivan there making a move on Bacchus. And I think he has got it done, although the next hairpin is gonna be the key to success for him as he tries to hang around the outside. Ooh, he's onto the grass, and his teammate behind is also a little bit onto the grass, but they keep it pointing in the right direction. But Ivan does lose out to Bacchus, trying to overtake and unfortunately not succeeding. Look at the lead that J Rabbit already has pulled from the cars behind as we start lap number 2. Nearly flat through turn number 1, just a little lift from J Rabbit. As Flappy is now getting pressured by Bacchus. Bacchus they're now able to make a move, but Flappy is going back past again. He has got the outside line for this next corner. And Bacchus up to second place ahead of Flappy. But is Flappy going to fight back? I think is his best shot to stay behind for the time being, because Flappy is on the hard compound of tires, whilst J Rabbit and Bacchus are both on the softs, and so is Ivan. So Flappy choosing for the alternative strategy. As Ivan is now also trying to get past Flappy, and I think Ivan has done so. Further behind is Gadget, also on the soft tires. Mickey choosing the medium compound of tires, and Lance on the hard compound of tires, also running the alternative strategy. Let's see, J Rabbit posts a 1:53.9, which is already 1.5 seconds quicker than the fastest racing lap we saw 4 years back already. This is even faster than the qualifying time for that same race. So yeah, shows you cars have had big improvement. As Gadget is now making his way past Flappy, but Flappy is playing the long game on those hard compound of tires. He knows he is losing out on some positions for the time being, but he will gain them back when the pit stops do come around. And this strategy is going to be a big factor of this race, also given that the pit time loss is only 15 seconds. That does not include the fuel refilling, but these cars should be able to make it probably to the end of the race with no issues in terms of fuel. Ivan and Bacchus still going at it. Ivan staying pretty close to the rear bumper of Bacchus as they end lap number 4, and it's going to be an interesting one to see if they are going to pit this lap. Ivan posts a 55.2 as Flappy is into the pit lane after only have done 3 laps on these hard compound of tires. Is he feeling that he is losing too much time? It looks to be the case, as he has switched to soft compound of tires. Oh, as Lance has had a mistake, as he has some damage to his front right side of the car. So that will only hamper his race even more. Ivan has gotten past Bacchus for 2nd place. And hopefully Ivan will stay there for a little bit longer than he did last time when he tried to overtake Bacchus, and this time he's looking to be more clear of the Welshman behind. Is J Rabbit coming into the pit lane this lap, or is he going to stay out for one more lap? Let's see. He stays out. I was nearly thinking he would go into the pit lane, but he's staying out for another lap to make it 5 laps on those tires, and so do the rest of the podium. Gadget does so as well. What does Mickey do? Mickey, of course, being on the medium compound of tire, doesn't really need to pit already, even post a personal best lap. So he's still got some pace in his car. Flappy also doesn't need to pit, seeing that he just pitted for new tires. And Lance also stays out for now. There's just the little tiny bit of thread left on J-Rabbit's front right tire. Of course, given that the circuit is counterclockwise, the right hand side tires will hurt the most, as he has now lost full thread on that tire. It is completely red, as I would think he would go into the pit lane on this lap. Ivan also on fully red tires, and so is Bacchus, and so is Gadget. So 5 laps seem to be the maximum that a tire can last for. As now indeed Jared pulls it into the pit lane. Ivan has seemingly stretched away just the tiniest bit, as Bacchus stays out. Interesting. He's trying to go for a overcut, and there's J Rabbit already out of the pits. Gadget is now also into the pit, and Mickey stays out as well. Of course, him being on the medium compound of tire, his tires are more durable, but he is going to struggle, as Ivan on new soft compound of tires can carry a lot more speed through the corners, and this circuit has a lot of them. Flat through here, almost looks like this is George Russell. Flat round here, flat round there. Ooh, and Ivan semi looking for a move there, was probably a bit caught out by the fact that Mickey braked so much earlier than Ivan can do. There's not a real overtaking opportunity here. Ivan trying a different line, trying to have a cutback, and actually it works out beautifully for Ivan. Ivan up to 3rd place again. And Bacchus, after not having pitted yet, he's already been overtaken by J Rabbit, so J Rabbit is a pit stop ahead of P2 now, as it stands. That's just blistering praise from J Rabbit. 3 seconds down is Bacchus on his personal best lap time. Oh, and this is not gonna help him. He is really on the edge of grip. As he now will put it into the pit lane for his first pit stop. Let's see, how much time did he lose to Ivan? Tires get changed and he's out of the pit lane, but pretty far behind, and even Flappy overtakes him. So that was probably a lap too long for Bacchus. As he's now down to 5th place. Mickey now also with close to no thread left on his tire, of his front right tire, should I say. As he makes his way around the Yamagiwa part of the circuit. And I think he's getting caught by Flappy at a big rate. Yeah, it's medium, older medium versus newer softs. That's a battle you cannot win. just see Mickey going wide, and that is Flappy now through. Or is it? Mickey is going to find... No, he is not. He lifts off the throttle, trying to minimize his time lost before going into the pit lane as J-Rabbit... Oh, J-Rabbit had a massive accident. He has a lot of damage. That's why he has pitted. Now, let's quickly take a look at what happened. It has already happened before. Already? What has happened? So it's all fine around here. Oh, and that's... Oh, a big scrape. Not as bad as I thought it would have been. But that's some heavy damage. And that's why he has pitted. Now repairing the damage. That's taking a long time. And he's all the way down to 6th place. Lance not really having a chance in this race to improve on his position. Unfortunately, seemingly the Bugatti is just too strong. Mickey actually stayed out on his worn out medium competitive tires. If he can make it around for this lap, he can pull off a 3-stopper. Compared to everyone else's, what, like 5-stopper? Would gain him about half a minute, but is that half a minute on being on a worse competitive tire worth it? That remains the question. Flappy now also on completely worn out tires. Bacchus on the medium compound of tire, trying to catch up. And all of a sudden Ivan is now leading the race, setting a personal best lap on the last lap that he did, a 54.5, which is just over 6/10 slower than the fast lap of the race overall set by J Rabbit. Oh, and there Bacchus going for a move into the final corner. And Flappy is going to peel off into the pit lane for a change of tire. His soft compound of tire already losing grip. And so are a lot of people. Mickey also in the pit lane for his medium compound of tire. And J Rabbit using his unscheduled pit stop to get his hard tire stint out of the way. That will relieve him a lot, and he will come out just behind Mickey. Mickey being on the medium compound of tires, whilst J Rabbit is now going for the softs again. As they go side by side through the first sector. You don't often see that happening without any crashes, but these two drivers pulled it off perfectly. Good sportsmanship shown by both drivers. Oh, yes, somewhat of an unintentional dive bomb by J Rabbit. Mickey braking earlier than expected. And J Rabbit moving himself up to 5th place. There's a bit of a gap to Flappy. Flappy on same performance tires level as J Rabbit. As Gadget in front still needs to make his second pit stop, and so does Ivan. Bacchus is looking good on his medium stint tire now. Oh, but it's a slide. That doesn't do the tire wear much good. And given that Bacchus is in 2nd place currently on those medium tires and matching his personal best lap time is a good sign, because he needs to do at least one pit stop less, possibly even 2 pit stops less. Now this is going to be a straight shootout between Flappy and J-Rabbit. J-Rabbit going purple to sector number 1. They're both on equal tire levels in terms of their performance and wear. They've got clear air in front of them. So this is a battle about through pace. J-Rabbit going purple again to the second sector. And Flappy is managing to go personal best lap time, but it's only a 55. He's now just underneath a 55 as it stands now, but J-Rabbit is going almost a full second quicker as it stands now. And that was an almighty sector, as he's half a second up on his best lap time of the race, which is a 53.9. That's some crazy speed from J-Rabbit. As Flappy now goes purple to the penultimate sector, Ivan is into the pit lane. What lap time can J-Rabbit pull off? Gadget also into the pit lane. Ivan has already come out of the pit lane. Flappy up to line. It is an improvement of almost a second, a 54.1. And J-Rabbit does a 53.1. A full second quicker than Flappy on that lap, and obliterating the fastest lap of the race so far. We are 1/3 of the way in, and it's too early to say who is going to come out on top. A strategy can be still very much at play here. Bacchus on worn out medium tires. He's about halfway through his stint against an Ivan who just came out of the pit lane on brand new soft compound of tires. Ivan will presumably catch up really quick to Bacchus. As J-Rabbit is getting closer and closer, and even improving the fastest lap of the race to a 53.0 even. 1.3 seconds quicker than Flappy on that last lap. Already taken out 2.5 seconds since they came out of the pit lane. And that's a lot. That's really quite substantial. Ivan and Bacchus now going at it. Ivan all over the back of Bacchus. As there any Miyabi part of the circuit. Different lines, and that will give Ivan an opening. And it is going to be a cutback by Ivan, and Ivan takes the lead away from Bacchus. But Bacchus is playing a longer game here on those medium compound of tires. And actually there is some refueling needed for all the drivers to make it to the end of the race. Let's see, Flappy is going to post a 55.1. J-Rabbit does a 53.9. 1.2 seconds gained again by J-Rabbit. He's just drawing closer and closer to the back of Flappy. As they might peel it into the pit lane again at the end of this lap. Given how brutal the tire wear is, at least on the soft compound of tires. Bacchus is also nearing his second pit stop. As Pash is into the pit lane on fully worn out right hand side tires. He changes them around, no refueling, and he is back out again. Albeit quite a ways back from the rest of the pack. I would assume Bacchus will stay out one more lap. And he does so. As J-Rabbit now send it up the inside of Flappy into the final corner. As they both come into the pit lane. It's going to be a race to the pit exit. Who is going to have the better stop? And they are inside one another as they leave the pit lane. And then there's Mickey as well, trying to pick off one of them. And Flappy with a compromised line, needing to give way somewhat to J-Rabbit in the opening sector. Flappy really hugging that inside curb. Is Bacchus going to stay out another lap after this one? If he does, he is really looking on for a 3-stop race. Let's see, does he pull it into the pit lane? He does not, so indeed he stays out for that extra lap. That will probably see him through to the three-stop strategy plan, especially since he still needs to do a hard tire stint. I'll say that it's a three-stop, but I believe he's done on the soft compound of tires, so that would be a four-stop then. Well, either way, an alternative strategy to everyone else. Bacchus has no more threat on his right front tire. Ivan is also nearing that same point. Is he going to put it into the pit lane this lap? No, he stays out for an extra lap. Is Bacchus going to put it into the pit lane? He is not. He is going to stay out as well for another lap. What is Gadget going to do? Is pulling it into the pit lane. J-Rabbit does not. J-Rabbit keeps going. Then Mickey also on a fully red tire, staying out. Interesting choice of strategy. He's definitely on for a three-stop race. As Bash set his personal best lap time last lap of a 1:58.1. One positive side is that his fuel is looking good. He only needs a little bit of refueling to make it to the end of the race. As Ivan is now on fully worn out right front tire, as his rear right tire is also getting to a suboptimal point in terms of wear. Not as bad as Bacchus tires are though. He will be really struggling with all the left-handers. Ivan pulls it into the pit lane, and so does Bacchus. Ivan refueling only a tad, only 6%. So he will run it empty for his next pit stop. Bacchus not even opting to refuel, as he is on the hard compound of tire. Interesting choice, that means his stint will be slightly shorter. It will be only like 10 laps, so only, 10 minutes, so only 5 laps of fuel he has remaining on board. Ivan still holds the lead after he had made his pit stop. He's on fresh rubber whilst J-Rabbit is not. J-Rabbit is flying half a second nearly, going purple halfway around the lap on worn tires. And even worse, he has an Ivan right in front of him. If that gives him slipstream or an annoyance, I am not sure. Oh, and Ivan onto the grass. J Rabbit follows him as well somewhat. Is J Rabbit going to post a new fastest lap? No, he's not. He's pulling it into the pit lane. But he's not on really worn out tires and he's already done his hard compound stint. So what is he up to? Puts on new set of soft compound of tires. Does not refuel. As Bacchus has opted for the hard compound of tires, that was already mentioned before, so he will be caught up by J Rabbit really quickly. As Flappy is probably looking to pit really soon. Ivan half a second quicker than his personal best lap time. Halfway around the circuit. He's only got a couple of corners left to negotiate. He has lost some time rejoining back to the Yamagiwa part of the circuit. Let's see if he can get the final corner right. Looked okay. Now up to line. It is an improvement by 420 thousandths of a second. As Flappy is it now into the pit lane, changes his tires for a brand new set, also getting just a little bit of fuel as he is out once again on the soft compound of tires. And Bacchus on those hard compound tires still somewhat staying away from trouble behind from J Rabbit. Although this lap J Rabbit has got his tires fully up to temperature and is really pushing for it. As there goes J Rabbit, there is the move for second place on Bacchus. That is presumably job done by J Rabbit. As Bacchus pulls it into the pit lane, his hard tire stint over, and now he will probably do 2 more stints on a medium compound of tire, and that should be it. Takes on some fuel. gets out in 5th place ahead of Mickey. And Pash, oh, his tires are also completely shot. As he is going to make his way now to the pit lane for a change of tires from his side. And in he comes. As Gadget is now also into the pit lane with only 11% of fuel remaining. Tire change and he's out again with only 11%. Oh, see, he's on the hard compound of tire. So that's why he didn't refuel. That way he can go out, do 1 or 2 laps, come back in, refuel, then probably do 2 soft stints till the end. Gadget is getting caught quickly by Bacchus on those soft compound of tires. And already Bacchus sends it. Whoa, that was a dive bomb and a half. Bacchus gets it stopped on the road, not on the grass. Fortunately for him. And Bacchus is up to 4th place. Whilst Ivan now pulls it into the pit lane. So does J Rabbit. So copying one another strategy. As Flappy stays out. J-Rabbit also refueling for till the end of the race. And he will come out just behind Bacchus. As Gadget on his hard compound tire only doing 1 singular lap. On his hard compound of tires, and he is now out again on soft compound of tires, which will probably mean he will only need to do 1 more pit stop. Gadget coming out in 6th place. And Ivan on the hard compound of tires, but very low on fuel, so he will probably pit this lap, fill it up, possibly do 2 more stints, although he could. Can he do 1 stint? I mean, on the hard compound of tires, he should be able to do 1 more stint. But the time lost on the hard compound of tires is quite a lot. He is filling up the car. Probably a little bit over fueling, but better to be safe than sorry. And he's come out on soft compound of tires, so that means he still needs to make 1 more pit stop. Mickey stays out for another lap. He only needs to make 1 more pit stop as well. Flappy now below 10% of fuel. Oh, and there is a battle going on for second place. Bacchus going a little bit deep, just missing his braking point by a meter or 5 or 10. As he tries to keep J-Rabbit behind him. J-Rabbit finding or looking for a way past. He's going left, he's going right, he still keeps it left. Bacchus defends it nicely. As they make their way up to the hairpin. J-Rabbit with the inside line. And that should be job done if performed correctly. And he has. So J-Rabbit now up to 2nd place. Ahead of Bacchus, who is now down to 3rd. So yeah, J-Rabbit up to 2nd place, not too far away from Flappy. But Flappy, he needs to pit this lap, but if he changes to medium tires he could make it. Going to softs, probably not going to make that. As Mickey's into the pit lane, he has some damage to his front bumper. That would suggest a little incident. Changes tires, refuels enough to make it to the end of the race, repairs the damage and goes out. It's interesting to see what Flapjack will do in terms of strategy to what compound of tires he's going. Maybe because he's some sort of tire whisperer, he could use some, but nah, there's no way with 30 minutes left on the clock. He needs to do 7 laps instead of the usual 5 laps. Everyone else is just managing, so he must be switching on to the medium compound of tires, as he has 1% of fuel remaining in his fuel tank. J-Rabbit goes sailing past, even showboating with a new fastest lap of the race, a 1:52.6, a 52. That is 2 seconds quicker than the fastest lap in qualifying 4 years ago. That's insane. Even more insane when you remember that Back then you had the super soft tires, whilst now the softest compound is only the soft tires. Bacchus with less than 10% of fuel remaining. He will probably peel in at the end of this lap, or maybe the next one. I am not so sure. It doesn't really seem to fit in with Bacchus. I cannot really predict what he is going to do in terms of strategy. Flapjack has chosen the soft compound of tires. Brave choice. I must give him that. Brave choice. Is it going to pay off? That's another thing. Bacchus pulls it into the pit lane. Is he switching to the soft compound of tire? That does mean that he will most likely need to do 6 laps on those tires. The last lap going to be a very tricky one. And so he has chosen the soft compound of tires. Whilst Gadget just ahead still needs to make his final pit stop. How well is Flappy going to fare on his going to be a worn out tire set? As the top 2 still need to make a pit stop. J-Rabbit probably is going to peel off into the pit lane at the end of this lap. As Bash is into the pit lane for his final pit stop. 10% of fuel remaining. A little bit of fuel, new tires, and that's job done for him. As J-Rabbit pulls it into the pit lane for his final stop, and so does Ivan. And now Flappy, what's Flappy going to do? He's going to stay out, of course. His tires look fine. After doing 2 laps on them, they're looking in really good shape. J-Rabbit has made out of the pit lane, crucially ahead of Flapjack. And Ivan now needs to hunt down Flapjack for a P2 finish, because I don't think that either are going to get P1 away from J-Rabbit, as Bacchus now in 4th place. It's looking also good. Gadget gets out ahead of Mickey, doing his final tire stint, or his hard tire stint, pulling it into the pit lane. He will do his last pit stop. I'm not sure if Len still needs to do his hard compound of tire stint. I should really keep a notepad with me to see who has done what. Oh, but now the tire wear starts to creep in with Flappy. Suddenly his right front tires has taken a beating. Seven minutes remain. And that equates to 4 more laps of running. J-Rabbit on for another fastest lap. The final chance he will probably get, seeing that this is going to be his final stop. He is almost the lightest he has been in terms of fuel. As he makes his way up to the penultimate hairpin. Using all the exit curb. He's 3/10 purple. Going into the final sector. What can he do? One more corner left to negotiate. The final hairpin around the circle. Oh, a bit of a slide on the corner entry. But maximizes the track width on exit. Goes up to line. It's a 51.984 set by J-Rabbit. What an astonishing time. Sub 1 minute 52. That's a great lap from J-Rabbit. I think he will be very pleased with that, as Flappy and Ivan are still duking it out. Ivan getting closer and closer. Every single lap, every single corner, because Flappy's tires are on the verge of shredding themselves. Figuratively. I think that's the correct word. I think Flappy would have done better sticking the medium tires on his car. Bash now with less than 10% of fuel remaining. Has he miscalculated his fuel? I think he might have. And does that mean that he needs to go back into the pit lane? Oh, maybe because of his hard tire stint. He did set his personal best lap time last time round of a 55.8. He stays out for another lap, but he can make it for another lap. That's good news. So his final lap, is it going to be the hard compound tire stint? I'm really lost now. Penultimate lap has been started by J-Rabbit. Last lap from Ivan, a 53.8, a 55.3 from Flappy. So 1.5 seconds in it. In that last lap alone, Flappy now almost needing to go defensive through the first sector. This is where tires really start to hurt. Or the lack of tires, that is. Ivan up the inside into turn number 6, they go. Oh, and Ivan has a slide. Ivan getting onto the curb, getting a big slide. He keeps it on the track miraculously. That cost him 2 seconds. Could that be the difference between P3 and P2? As he lost out on another second in total, so now it is really starting to kick off, this being the penultimate lap of the race. Oh, he was somewhat looking for a move, but not quite. As further behind, Bacchus on his own with less than 10% of fuel remaining, but he should be fine with only 1 lap left to negotiate. So does Gadget. This might be Mickey's final lap, as I think the clock will run out before he gets to cross the finish line. As Bash has started his final lap, but he might run out of fuel. I'm not sure. J Rabbit starts his final lap as well now. And so do these two. A final lap showdown between Flappy and Ivan. Ivan, look at how much more speed Ivan can carry through turn number 1. That's Ivan up to 2nd place already at the start of lap number 31. Ivan forcing Flappy to go the long way around turn number 6. Oh, and a bit of a twitch cutting back in front of Flappy. Flappy still hanging on for dear life. It is P2 or it is nothing. Almost for Flappy. Oh, as he nearly runs into the back of Ivan. This is truly a last lap showdown between two great drivers. But I think now Flappy has lost it. His tire wear just too bad as the final lap light is flashing. Mickey will be the first to cross the finish line, but it will only give him 6th place. Bash getting blue flags just before the end of the race. And as he is nearly out of fuel, he will almost coast to the finish line. But it was all about this man, J Rabbit. He wins round number 5. It was just on another level today, with Ivan just on the final lap making a move to secure 2nd place ahead of Flappy, who completes the podium. Just behind Flappy we have Bacchus on an alternative strategy. Made good work for it. He gets rewarded with a P4 finish. And last but not least we have Gadget. He will finish in 5th place. So that was it for round number 5 of the 2nd season of ADEC in 2024. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great race. At least I enjoyed it. The strategic part of it, really nice. Let's take a look back at the start, where no positions were lost or gained except for Bacchus, who slips up the inside of Ivan, I believe. And actually the finishing order didn't change much. Only 2nd, 3rd and 4th changed. But that's gonna be it for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already, to be updated on anything just channel related, also including ADEC for the remainder of the season. I hope to see you soon for a new round of ADEC. Until that time, see you!